Okay, hello everybody and welcome to this class. My name is Teacher Amy and today's class topic is mind-boggling predictions for the next 25 years. So, what do you think will happen in the next 25 years? What are your predictions for the future? We're going to be using an article which is all about a man called Ray. And he makes predictions and has been making predictions for a long time. And actually, surprisingly enough, a lot of them have been coming true. So we're going to talk about the predictions that he has made in the past and the predictions he has made for the future, the next 25 years, and see what we think. Do you think that these things will happen? How do you see the future in the next 25 years playing out? It's focused sort of centrally on sort of technological advances, but also a couple of other things. So do come along in. If you've booked a slot, if you haven't, you may want to watch us on YouTube or Google+. And while we're waiting for everybody to get here, let me share the pages I usually share. So Facebook page is number 1. And if you're interested in following any of the teachers on Facebook, it's sometimes a good way to get on track, to keep on schedule with your English. If you forget about learning English but you never forget to check Facebook, then you might want to follow some teachers and help remind you. If you're interested in finding out something more about any of the Verbling teachers, then the best place to go to is to their Verbling teacher page, which you can find mine in the chat box. There you will see everything you need to know about the teacher, including their introductory video and some class video excerpts, and also their schedule, so you can book a session, either a private tutoring session or perhaps attend a class with them. So everything that you need to know should be found there. If you have any questions, obviously get in touch with us, and you can find the messaging feature at the Verbling teacher pages as well. So let us say hello, see who we've got to talk about these wonderful mind-boggling predictions. Ali, welcome back.
Hi again.
Alright, so my first question for you guys today is, can you make a prediction for me for the next 25 years? Something that you think will definitely happen in the next 25 years. Anything, Ali?
I don't know. Maybe human produce some organs for people, for human.
Did you say, sorry, I missed that. Humans will produce some organs, did you say?
Yeah, maybe.
So are you talking about sort of stem cell research and producing like new body parts for people who have
like
problems?
lung, heart, or something like that.
Okay, I'm going to put human organs. Interesting one. And when do you think this will take place, Ali? Any ideas? How long do you think it will be before we get there?
I don't know. Maybe next 30 years or 50 years.
All right, wonderful. Thank you for that. Let's say hi to Luis. Hello, how are you, Luis?
Hello, Amy. I'm fine, thank you.
Wonderful. Have you moved yet?
Yes, I am in my new house.
Congratulations. How has everything gone? Has it gone smoothly?
It's very messy here.
That's to be expected, I think. Luis, what I want to ask you is the same question I asked Ali. If you have to make a prediction for the next 25 years, what is it?
People are going to live in moon.
Okay, interesting. So people will live on the moon.
Yeah.
And how long will it take us before we get there? How many years away is this?
15. Yes,
15?
15 years.
15 or 50?
No, 15.
Okay. Wonderful. Right, very interesting. We've got two completely different predictions. Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Ali. Paul, welcome back.
Okay, hello.
All right, what can you tell us? What do you think is going to happen?
Okay, I think it's going to be all about technologies, different technologies. I think first one, robots.
Right.
They are in development right now, I think, yeah. But I think those like machines would be spread around. I mean, like in that movie, I Robot with Will Smith. If we saw the movie, I think the situation is going to be similar in some cases. Yeah, robots. That's one. Next one. Many aspects of human life would be moved to cyberspace. Like
Okay.
we're learning English languages, getting education in cyberspace, and something would be moved as well in the cyberspace.
Mhm.
Yeah, and what else? And I think something which deals with human health and the length of life is going to be dealt with. I mean, the human would live up to 100 or more years, and yeah, maybe certain parts of human body could be replaced with like improved ones. So it's going to be very interesting to live a long and productive, interesting life in those future worlds. Okay, so a couple of my predictions.
Thank you, Paul. Very interesting ones. So they're
Yeah,
quite different.
I
Hmm?
made it all up. So
Of course you did. It's a prediction.
yeah.
Although, having said that, the man who, well, we'll find out. I won't give anything away. We're going to have a look at something in a moment. Let's say have a quick hello to Natasha.
Hello. Hello, Amy. Hello,
Hello.
guys.
Um,
Oh, yes, I hear something noisy, yes?
yeah, I was just about to say that, Natasha. Is
Yes.
it? I think it's gone. All right, Louise, if you don't mind, I'm just going to mute you while you're not talking, just in case that makes a difference. So just, yeah, okay, I think that might be just a bit clearer. So Natasha, welcome to the class. We've been talking about our predictions for the future. So what do you have any predictions that you can make? What do you think might happen in the next 25 years or so?
Oh, it's very interesting question, really. And if to be honest, I have never thought about it before. But I suppose that I cannot be so positive. How our previous participant, our meeting, I don't know. At first, I suppose that it depends on the country. Yes, where we live and about develop scientist, for example, we can say, but maybe yes, I can think that maybe we will have such technologies like maybe nanotechnologies, and on the basis we can have very high our future development robots or health care services, maybe in the surgery, in the genetic modified things, for example. But on the other hand, 25 years is not so long time, and maybe we cannot have such different I suppose such a big difference with our time now, for
Hmm.
example. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
difficult to.
good point, Natasha. You made a really good point. 25 years is not
Thank you.
actually that long. If you think back 25 years and compare how we are now with the world back then, can you see a lot of change, do you think, Natasha?
Sorry?
If you, because you just mentioned the fact that 25 years is not very long, which is true, I just wondered if we take 25 years off now, so we're in 2015, so if we go back to 1990 and you compare the society in 1990 with today, do you think there's a huge difference or not really?
Uh, Maybe yes, maybe yes, maybe. Why not? I have heard that maybe in 50 years we can meet aliens, and after that we can have yes. It was a prediction. I don't remember who said about it, but it was it can be happened, and after that really we will have a different life.
Absolutely.
Particularly different, yes, yeah, yes. We
All
can
right.
say what can happen.
Who can say? Nobody, actually. But it is kind of fun to talk about it. So what we're going to do is have a look at this article. This guy is sort of like makes a career out of predictions. If you just want to have a look in the chat box, I've pasted it a few times there. I'll share my screen. So it's not a long article. We're just going to read a little bit about this guy, and then we're going to read some of his predictions and talk about them and see what we think. So, Ali, would you like to get us started with the title and the first few lines?
Okay. Ray Kurzweil's mind-boggling predictions for the next 25 years. In my new book, Bold, one of the interviews that I'm most excited about is with my good friend Ray Kurzweil. Bill Gates calls Ray the best person I know at predicting the future of artificial intelligence. Ray is also amazing at predicting a lot more beyond just AI. This post looks at his very incredible predictions for the next 20 plus years.
Thank you, Ali.
So,
We'll just pause for a
okay.
sec. So, any questions first of all about any of the words in here? Are we all familiar? Yeah. I just would like to know if someone could tell me what the word mind-boggling means.
Like make people confusing.
Yes, it's not so much a mixture of confusion and disbelief. So it's like you can hardly think about it because it's so strange or unusual or crazy. So the mind boggles is what we sometimes say. It means that you think, oh my goodness, I can't even imagine that. It's so crazy. All right, thank you, Ali. Paul, could you continue, please, from so who is Ray Kurzweil?
Okay, so who is Ray Kurzweil? He has received 20 honorary doctorates, has been awarded honors from 3 US presidents, and has authored 7 books, 5 of which have been national bestsellers. Impressive. He is the principal inventor of many technologies ranging from the first CCD flatbed scanner to the first print-to-speech reading machine for the blind. He is also the chancellor and co-founder of Singularity University and the guy tagged by Larry Page to direct artificial intelligence development at Google. Wow. Okay, in short, Ray's pretty smart, and his predictions are amazing, mind-boggling, and important reminders that we are living in the most exciting time in human history. Yeah, he's right.
Thank you, Paul. Very nice reading, I must say. You should consider a job with the BBC in making it sound incredibly exciting.
You're flattering me.
Okay, so obviously this guy is pretty impressive. But when it comes to making predictions, do you think anybody has, do qualifications count at all? Do you think they're important or not?
Oh yes, it's so unusual to have a qualification in future prediction. It sounds unbelievably interesting and engaging and unusual, and I don't really know how to respond to that. I mean, that's
right.
the topic we don't know about really, and but it sounds really great. I'd like to have a doctorate in future prediction. It sounds great.
Absolutely. It's kind of an interesting one. But
yeah, I would like to have one if I could.
perhaps you will be able to. Maybe that's what's coming up in the next 25 years, Paul.
Yeah.
You will be able to get a doctorate in predicting.
Yeah, as soon as they establish those universities, I would go there.
All right. So, I don't know whether this guy can be relied upon for predictions, but he's certainly quite involved in all of this technology and stuff related to moving forward into the future. So, what we're going to do first of all is look at the predictions that he has previously made that turned out to be true, which is quite interesting. So, I'm going to get the wonderful Luis to read. We'll read let's read up to here, okay?
Okay, teacher. In 99, 25 years ago, he predicted that a computer would defeat a world chess champion by 1998. Then, in 1997, IBM's Deep Blue defeated Garry Kasparov. That PCs would be capable of answering queries by accessing
Queries.
queries by accessing information wirelessly via the Internet by 2010. He was right to say the least. That by the early 2000s, exoskeletal limbs would let the disabled walk. Companies like Exobionics and others now have technology that does just this and such more.
Thank you, Luis. Well done. We'll stop there. We'll look at the ones that he made in 1990 first, because I want to see what you guys think. This word here, let's just practice it one more time. It's pronounced queries.
Query.
Yes,
Query.
perfect. Well done. Okay, Natasha, let's hear from you. We'll look at the first one. He predicted that a computer would defeat a world chess champion by 1998, and in 1997 it happened. Do you think this is impressive or not particularly?
I really don't know. Really. Wow. I suppose that no, I don't know what I can say in this question. I'm sorry.
No problem. I'm just wondering what you think. Do you think it's based? Do you think it's impressive that someone predicted that a computer would beat a world chess champion by a certain date and then it happened? Do you think it's a fluke, like just a coincidence, or do you think that he's cleverly worked this out somehow?
Uh, I suppose that in this case it may be not maybe predictions when people I mean that sometimes people can know particularly different items and if he had scientific mind or math mind he can math to math what can happen and when it can happen and
Yes.
it's like so yes on one hand it's make predictions but on the other hand it's make be a clear math I suppose no.
Yes, for sure. Good point, Natasha. I think the word you were
Thank you.
looking for there was calculate. He could calculate,
Calculate.
whether something's likely to happen or not. All right, let's ask Ali. Ali, what do you think about the second prediction he made, which is obviously something that's completely changed our entire world, really? What do you think about that prediction?
I don't know. It's maybe interesting, but not very crazy prediction. After people discovered the computer and you know how the system works, you put in give some information to the computer and you can get some feedback from the computer,
Yep.
and the computers can calculate something and give you some reports uh, that it's possible to give answers if you ask something. I think it's not very amazing or
Yeah, not particularly astounding at this point. Other
yeah.
people could have guessed this too, right? All right, great. I agree. I
not
agree with
not not maybe all people, but many people can guess this idea.
yeah,
Or
maybe not all, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people, yeah?
yeah.
All right, wonderful. What are we up to? We're going to continue reading just to see some of the other predictions he's made before we read the ones he has made for the future. So, Natasha, could you read from in 1999?
Yes, of course. In 1999, he predicted that people would be able to talk to their computers to give commands by 2009. While still in the early days in 2009, natural languages interfaces like Apple's Siri and Google now have come a long way. I rarely use my keyboard anymore. Instead, I dictate text and emails. That computer displays would be built into eyeglasses for augmented reality by 2009. Labs and teams were building head-mounted displays well before 2009, but Google started experimenting with Google Glass prototypes in 2011. Now we are seeing an explosion of augmented and virtual reality solutions and HMDS. Microsoft just released the HoloLens, and the Magic Leaps is working on some amazing technology to name two.
Brilliant. Thank you, Natasha. Right, does anyone have any questions about any of the words or the meaning?
No. I suppose in the big idea, I see.
Yep, you get the general idea, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, technology.
Sorry, I have a question. I'm not sure
Sure.
what augmented reality is.
Okay.
Can you
Augmented
explain,
reality.
please? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So if you take the words just by themselves, augmented means increased, enlarged, something bigger, okay? And
Yeah.
so reality is what we already have. Augmented reality officially, so that we get it exactly right, because I know this is a scientific term, is a technology that superimposes a computer-generated image on a user's view of the real world, thus providing a composite view. So basically, you look through some kind of glasses or something, and you can see the real world, but you can also see extra stuff. And I don't exactly know what that extra stuff would be. It might be the fact that you can like play a game, or perhaps you can walk down a street and see a map kind of on top of where you are so that you know where you are. It's basically adding something visual to what you can already see in reality, I believe, Paul.
Okay, thanks. It was pretty clear. And
Okay, great.
I am not impressed with those predictions. I think those ideas were around at the time and even before that, before 1999,
Yes.
I think.
Sure.
And movies were shot using those images, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree so far. I think one of the things is that he's quite specific with his predictions. He says exactly when he thinks it's going to happen. Oh, I was just going to say hello to a new student, but they've disappeared. Right, the last one we'll just read in 2005. Does anyone want to read this? Nobody?
Okay.
Thank you, Ali.
Okay. In 2005, he predicted that by the 2010s, virtual solutions would be able to do real-time language translation, in which words spoken in a foreign language would be translated into text that would appear as subtitles to a user wearing the glasses. Well, Microsoft via Skype Translate, Google Translate, and others have done this and beyond. One app called WordLens actually uses your camera to find and translate text imagery in real time.
Thanks, Ali. That was really great reading. Any questions? No? All right. So this one applies to us, and I'd say that yes, we do have this, but I would say, you know, it's not the way that he describes it is not probably in. It's not used by a lot of people at the moment. I mean, I think a lot of people would probably use things like Google Translate, but it's not immediate. It's not like having an interpreter at your side. So let's move down and we're going to see what Ray predicts for the next 25 years and see what we think. So, Luis.
I'm sorry, I have a prediction. May I?
Okay, go for it, Paul.
In 25 years, we won't need any translation tool because everyone would know English as a first language, as a second language. Everyone would know English as a native. Okay.
Because they're all going to come and learn about it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul. All right, so let's skip blah, 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 and we'll go down to here. Luis, could you read the first one? If this up to here.
Okay. If you are an entrepreneur, you need to be thinking about these. Specifically, how are you going to capitalize when they happen? How will they affect your business? By the late 2010s, glasses be will be imaged directly onto the retina. 10 terabytes of computing power, roughly the same as the human brain, will cost about $1,000.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's stop there. We're just going to look at these one at a time. So this is by the late 2010s. Well, that's in the next 5 years, right? Or earlier. So would anyone like to comment on this one? Firstly, what does this actually mean? Can anyone explain it in their own words?
I'm not sure how this is going to happen. I mean, beaming images, but it's something like that you just see in your mind pictures, maybe. I'm
Could
not
be.
sure about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, I think. It sounds realistic at some point to me. And this thing about the, I think about the chips, computer chips, is also sensible, and I think the price is reasonable. So I believe in that.
Okay, so you think this is likely, Paul?
Yeah, I think this is likely. Not 100%, but it sounds sensible to me.
Okay. So what do you guys think about? In my mind, I'm not sure because it's not very well explained here, but I think you're right, Paul, that you maybe wear a pair of glasses and it's almost like a computer, but you're wearing it. So you can see things through your glasses that almost like what we just talked about, augmented reality. Um, we've already obviously had the invention of Google Glass and the fact that you can like take video and photos just wearing glasses. But it's a bit of a strange idea, I think, because you can't really tell what somebody's doing. If they've got their phone and they're holding it up, you know they're taking a picture. But if they're just wearing glasses, um, do you think it's a problem that you can't really tell what somebody else is doing, that you can't tell that they're looking through these glasses and seeing things or taking photos? What do you reckon?
I think when he's speaking that, he's talking about the way that our brain receive information. So if you make a code that is possible transmit from outside to inside of your brain, is the
Mhm.
same process of your vision. So you can be with your eyes closed, and they will transmit the information, uh, you know, or wireless to inside of your brain. So you don't need to be with a eye, your eye open to see.
Uh-huh. I see what you mean. So that's what it's talking about when it's saying beaming an image directly onto your retina, almost like a projector.
Yes, I think it's very possible actually.
Gosh, it sounds very interesting to me. I can't imagine this happening in the next 5 years, but then again, you never know. Um, yeah, interesting. I think we need further explanation before I kind of want to go for that one. Does anyone else want to comment before we go on to the next one? No? Okay, Paul, could you read out by the 2020s, please?
Okay, by the 2020s, most diseases will go away as nanobots became smarter than current medical technology. Normal human eating can be replaced by nanosystems. The Turing test begins to be possible. Self-driving cars begin to take over the roads, and people won't be allowed to drive on highways.
Thank you.
I'm not sure what the Turing test is, but I think it's has to do with robots and robot technologies. I'm not sure.
Yes. The Turing test actually is a test whereby a computer has to interact by having a conversation with a human, and it has to respond in a sensible way. So basically what happens is a scientist or somebody sits down at a computer and types something and tries to have a conversation, and they have to be able to tell, is this a human talking to me or is it the computer? If they are convinced that it's a human, then the computer has passed the Turing test. So it's like to see whether a computer can effectively communicate like a human being, basically.
It's interesting, but I think it's possible even now. I'm maybe not sure, but there's a lot of such things as bots, I think, on the internet, and they're pretty convincing. And
Yes.
every site has like a test where you need to type words or numbers in a box to prove that you're human, and just begun not from anything, and for the reason maybe because there are computer programs who can imitate the human interaction.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. That's absolutely right, Paul. And I hate those annoying things that you have to type in because I can never see them properly or work out what they are. But yeah, you're absolutely right. So, Natasha, you were talking about nanotechnology, I think, at the beginning of class. And there's quite a few different implications mentioned in this paragraph. What do you think about self-driving cars?
Oh, I suppose that it can be true, but on the other hand, it's my own opinion, and I might be wrong. But I suppose that on the other hand, it can be said for human because uh, after some years, maybe decades, I think that people can be weak by their very big depends on technologies.
Okay.
You see what I want to say. On the one hand,
Yeah.
it's yes, it's very good because we are developing our brain is very high level, have a very has a very high level. We can imagine different technologies, different things for improving our lifestyle, our life common in general. But on the other hand, it's bad because we will be very dependent from this of this technology.
Okay, absolutely.
I don't
Very good
know.
points. Yeah. I think I've already heard something that scientists have discovered that now that we have Google, people remember less because they feel they can just look it up if they forget. So they look up something on Google and remind themselves. And so they pay less attention. It's something subconscious, I think, that they don't try to remember things as much as before, maybe facts or stuff that you could use Google for. Ali, what do you think about some of the things in this paragraph? What about self-driving cars in particular? Do you think that that would be a good idea?
Uh, for me, I think I won't trust a machine and like self-driving cars. Uh, driving cars already exist now. Cars can parking or uh, they can arrange their speed and some cars when they see people they just slow down and maybe stop. Uh, but I don't think maybe in 5 years people won't be allowed to drive on highways.
All right,
It,
perfect.
it's
Thank
not
you,
it's
Ali.
not it's not a good prediction I think for people.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's have a look at the just go back to the one about diseases. It says most diseases will go away. Um, so I'm assuming that it's sort of related to what we've already talked about. But I think that what happens with technology is that it overlaps other areas of life. It's not just about the technology, and a lot of times, if we invent something new, there's sort of ethical things that we have to consider, and there's religious considerations. And let's just talk about this idea of disease. What do you think about the idea of, if something goes wrong with your body, your heart has a problem, you can just grow a new heart in a lab and then have a transplant? Is that something that you think is a good technology? Do you think there may be people out there who disagree with this for some kind of a reason? May it be religious or ethical, or would anyone like to comment?
Yes, I'd like to try. Of course, some people would argue with that, and they would say that it is against God. It's like playing God or something. I
Yep.
mean, religious
Yep.
people. Okay, so if they think that way, they should feel free not to use this technology. Or why
Mhm.
would others who would like to, um, and I think they just and what's more, if they if they would need to use that technology, why not? I think maybe the population should be divided into several groups. I mean,
Yeah.
one who are pro technology, and the next one who is contra. probably, and they shouldn't mix, and they should live their lives as they like. I am a pro technology. I think it's inevitable. Yes, our life is would never be the same after we start using those technologies, but I'd like to try. And I really like the idea of eating, which is mentioned in this paragraph, nanosystems eating. It sounds so exciting to me. So really useful when I am really lazy and I don't want to cook. I can swallow a pill or something, and I am just ready for the day, and I wouldn't need to consume any food during that day. Isn't that exciting? I think it's
Good question, Paul. Good question.
that's so great. Of course, if you want to have a dinner with your family or something, you could cook the full dinner, whichever you like. But if you don't have the time, why not swallow a pill and go? I'd like to try that.
Yeah, you're bringing up a really great point. In both of your little points there, you've kind of made given us the idea that we should continue to use the technology if we want to. So if it's sort of like a choice, a personal choice, right?
Yeah, that's the main idea of mine. If you're willing, you should try it. If you want, just live your life as always. Be tolerant.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see what Natasha has to say about that. Natasha, if you had the chance to just take a pill and go be ready for the day, like Paul says, instead of having breakfast, for example, what would that appeal to you?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat your question one more, please?
Yeah, sure. I was just referring to what Paul has just said about the nanotechnology for eating. So what he has suggested is that if you don't have much time, say one morning you wake up late and you don't have time to have breakfast, maybe you could just swallow a pill or a tablet and have that instead of your breakfast. It would provide all the nutrition you need.
Okay, I see. Thank you. I really suppose that normal human will not want to eat tablets or something. I don't know, capsule with nanosystems. I suppose that we will be want cooking normal breakfast, normal. I don't know, dinner and have it with their family as we all like do it.
Okay, so you would not be interested in the pill?
Yes. I don't. It will be really not interesting for them. But sometimes can be such situation, extremely situation, when people maybe will be without the choice and they need to eat this tablet. Yes, it will be good for them in those situation, but only so, I suppose.
Right. Yeah, I think I probably agree with you there, Natasha. I think it could be handy, but I actually quite like eating, so I don't know if I'd go for it very often. It depends on who you are as a person, I suppose, and also what your priorities are. So perhaps what we're talking about really is increasing our choices, and it also brings up the issue of would this be available to everybody? Because at the moment we have a very unequal world. As the technology improves, does that mean our world will be more equal? I doubt it unless we make certain changes towards that. What do you think, Ali?
Can you repeat the question? I didn't understand.
Yeah, just in general, what do you think about the pill, taking a pill instead of eating? What do you think about the fact that, you know, we have problems with hunger and things in our world at the moment? Maybe this could be some kind of a solution or not. What do you think?
I don't know. I prefer enjoy my breakfast and my tea because uh, this kind of pills already exist. Just make you feel not hungry. Uh, but we are not like robots. We are humans and we have feelings. Uh, Dinner, breakfast, or lunch, a kind of uh, union with your family, with your friends, with your children,
Mhm.
and have fun, join with your time. It's
Yeah, for
necessary,
sure.
I think.
Okay. All right, let's have a look at the next one. Luis, could you read by the 2030s?
By the 2030s, virtual reality will begin to feel 100% real. We will be able to upload our mind conscience by the end of that decade.
So it's pronounced consciousness.
Consciousness.
Yes.
Consciousness.
Okay. This is a bit of a controversial one. We will be able to upload our mind to the cloud, I'm assuming, by the end of the 2030s. Right, any comments?
I think it's not like the mind, but the information we have
Yep.
uh, a storage in our mind. I think will be possible because the brain release the brain have electrical activities. So the scientists, if they were capable to read what's going on in our brain, it's possible upload the information.
Hmm.
I don't
And
know
what do you
how
think?
they could do that, but
Well, yeah, you don't know sort of how they could do it, the process. But just
yeah.
thinking about the concept, Luis, do you think this would be a good thing? In what way would it be good? And perhaps in what way would it be not so good?
The scientists has already proved um, there is a lot of advance when people who can't walk they they have some device where people start to think they are walking and
Uh-huh.
these devices start to moving their legs. So this is one proof that it's possible like interpret interpreted the information we have in our brain and
Hmm.
transform in actions.
Yeah. All
So I
right.
think it's good.
Interesting. Okay, so it could be good. How do you think if somebody has to apply this to language learning? Let's apply this to your prediction, Paul. Everybody will be able to speak English. Do you think these two have a connection?
I'm not sure because I'm really interested in what uploading mind means. Because as you mentioned, how it is just possible. It may be possible by the time, but I'm not sure how it is going to be. But
Yeah.
what about the virtual reality? I think it's great, yeah, but I can see straight away the debatable point, and it is that this is so like wanted. I mean, the virtual reality is so sought for, wanted that some people
Sought
just
after.
sought after, yeah. That some people just would stay in virtual reality and they wouldn't go out to the real world.
They would never leave.
Yes, because virtual reality can be just everything what the person likes, and the virtual reality can be exactly that. Yeah, and
Yeah, good point.
and since it is so amazing and great, and you will be able to do everything there, why live that dull, hard stressful life, real life, I mean. And this is a really controversial point. I don't know how to respond to it.
Absolutely.
I'm not that bold as Ray Kurzweil to present that, and how humanity would respond to this. Yeah.
Really good point, Paul. Thank you for bringing that up. I just want to ask Natasha. She's just mentioned that she agrees with you. Would you like to comment, Natasha?
No, I haven't any comment, but I have said that I absolutely agree with Paul, because it really can be so when people will change their real life by their virtual life. So it's a way for avoiding something problem. Yes, for avoiding bad situation, and it's the way in the never. Yes, it's really bad, I suppose.
Yeah,
Yes, on
absolutely.
on the one hand, it maybe can be help for maybe treat for people who have mental diseases, and such they it can help them. But when we see when we so about common people, about usual people, it's really bad for them.
Yeah, I
It's bad
think
decision.
for sure I can see that from my point of view, technology is it can be really, really great. It can help and improve lots of different things. However, there is always the underlying problem that what we've just mentioned, that perhaps one side of our humanity, the side that does not solve some of the most obvious world problems that we have, like hunger and poverty, if we don't somehow improve that side of things, then maybe the gap between, having new technology and just our basic humanity is going to go bigger and bigger, and that possibly could be a very bad thing. Um, who knows? It's a very interesting question. Let's see what Ali has to say about it before we go. Ali?
About uploading your mind.
Yeah, so just what we've just been talking about. Do you think that people will just retreat and live from within a virtual world if this happens with virtual reality?
I don't think so. Maybe in next 20 years it will happen. Maybe scientists or some technology can affect our brain and make we can learn things easier or faster.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We will stay live as a human, not like a robot. If you need some information or something like that, you just upload. Uh, and I think it's not good. There will be no difference between people. If you have
Yeah, true.
opportunity, you just buy and you just pay and give buy some information for your mind,
Yep,
and all the people will be same, I think.
absolutely. So the question becomes, I think, not can we achieve this or can we do this technology, because we probably can, but do we want to? What actually is life about? If we just zap ourselves and upload things, what are we actually doing? What is the purpose of living? Are we just overcoming all the parts of life that are valuable, or are we improving ourselves? It's a very good question. I'm going to leave it at that. thank you all of you for participating in such a fascinating topic. Well done for such interesting points of view. I hope I haven't boggled your minds too much for the rest of the day. But if you do want to write anything else, go ahead and write a comment on Facebook. I might open a little chat on there because I think it's quite an interesting thing. So have a great evening, guys. Take care and keep studying English because we don't have that upload feature just yet.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Amy. See you. Bye.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
5 years or so.
Oh, it's very interesting question, really. And if to be honest, I have never thought about it before. But I suppose that I cannot be so positive. How our previous participant, our meeting, I don't know. At first, I suppose that it depends on the country. Yes, where we live and about develop scientist, for example, we can say, but maybe yes, I can think that maybe we will have such technologies like maybe nanotechnologies, and on the basis we can have very high our future development robots or health care services, maybe in the surgery, in the genetic modified things, for example. But on the other hand, 25 years is not so long time, and maybe we cannot have such different I suppose such a big difference with our time now, for example. I don't know. It's difficult to.
Good point, Natasha. You made a really good point. 25 years is not actually that long. If you think back 25 years and compare how we are now with the world back then, can you see a lot of change, do you think, Natasha?
Sorry?
English, languages, getting education in cyberspace, and something would be moved as well in the cyberspace. Yeah, and what else? And I think something which deals with human health and the length of life is going to be dealt with. I mean, the human would live up to 100 or more years, and yeah, maybe certain parts of human body could be replaced with like improved ones. So it's going to be very interesting to live a long and productive, interesting life on those future world. Okay, so a couple of my predictions.
Thank you, Paul. Very interesting ones. So they're quite different.
I made it all up. So
of course you did. It's a prediction. Although, having said that, the man who, well, we'll find out. I won't give anything away. We're going to have a look at something in a moment. Let's say have a quick hello to Natasha.
Hello. Hello, Amy.
Hello.
Yes, I hear something noisy, yes?
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Natasha.
Yes.
I think it's gone. All right, Louise, if you don't mind, I'm just going to mute you while you're not talking, just in case that makes a difference. So just, yeah, okay, I think that might be just a bit clearer. So Natasha, welcome to the class. We've been talking about our predictions for the future. So what do you have any predictions that you can make? What do you think might happen in the next 20 session? Or perhaps attend a class with them. So everything that you need to know should be found there. If you have any questions, obviously get in touch with us, and you can find the messaging feature at the Verbling teacher pages as well. So let's say hello, see who we've got to talk about these wonderful mind-boggling predictions. Ali, welcome back.
Hi again.
All right, so my first question for you guys today is, what can you make a prediction for me for the next 25 years? Something that you think will definitely happen in the next 25 years. Anything, Ali?
I don't know. Maybe human produce some organs for people, for human.
Did you say, sorry, I missed that. Humans will produce some organs, did you say?
Yeah, maybe.
So are you talking about sort of stem cell research and producing like new body parts for people who have
Yeah, like
problems?
lung, heart, or something like that.
Okay, I'm going to put human organs. Interesting one. And when do you think this will take place, Ali? Any ideas? How long do you think it will be before we get there?
I don't know. Maybe next 30 years or 50 years.
All right, wonderful. Thank you for that. Let's say hi to Luis. Hello, how are you, Luis?
Hello, Amy. I'm fine, thank you.
Wonderful. Have you moved yet? Okay, hello everybody and welcome to this class. My name is Teacher Amy and today's class topic is Mind-Boggling Predictions for the next 25 years. So, what do you think will happen in the next 25 years? What are your predictions for the future? We're going to be using an article which is all about a man called Ray. And he makes predictions and has been making predictions for a long time. And actually, surprisingly enough, a lot of them have been coming true. So we're going to talk about the predictions that he has made in the past and the predictions he has made for the future, the next 25 years, and see what we think. Do you think that these things will happen? How do you see the future in the next 25 years playing out? It's focused sort of centrally on sort of technological advances, but also a couple of other things. So do come along in. If you've booked a slot, if you haven't, you may want to watch us on YouTube or Google+. And while we're waiting for everybody to get here, let me share the pages I usually share. So Facebook page is number 1. And if you're interested in following any of the teachers on Facebook, it's sometimes a good way to get on track, to keep on schedule with your English. If you forget about learning English but you never forget to check Facebook, then you might want to follow some teachers and help remind you. If you're interested in finding out something more about any of the Verbling teachers, then the best place to go to is to their Verbling teacher page, which you can find mine in the chat box. There you will see everything you need to know about the teacher, including their introductory video and some class video excerpts, and also their schedule, so you can book a session, either a private tutoring.
Yes, I am in my new house.
Congratulations! How has everything gone? Has it gone smoothly?
It's very messy here.
That's to be expected, I think. Luis, what I want to ask you is the same question I asked Ali. If you have to make a prediction for the next 25 years, what is it?
People are going to live in moon.
Okay, interesting. So people will live on the moon.
Yeah.
And how long will it take us before we get there? How many years away is this?
15. Yes,
15?
15 years.
15 or 50?
No, 15.
Okay. Wonderful. Right, very interesting. We've got two completely different predictions. Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Ali. Paul, welcome back.
Okay, hello.
All right, what can you tell us? What do you think is going to happen?
Okay, I think it's going to be all about technologies, different technologies. I think first one, robots.
Right.
They are in development right now, I think. Yeah, but I think those like machines would be spread around. I mean, like in that movie, I, Robot, with Will Smith. If we saw the movie, I think the situation is going to be similar in some cases. Yeah, robots. That's one. Next one. Many aspects of human life would be moved to cyberspace.
Okay.
Like we're learning English.